ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Today we'll discuss about a special demon who represents envy, pride, and that is none other than Kaliya, the serpent Kaliya. So this serpent was staying in some place called Ramanak Dweepa. And it so happened, long past time, cut short, Garuda, he started following this personality, that is Kaliya. And Kaliya knew very well, due to some reason, Garuda cannot touch the waters of Yamuna. Therefore, Kaliya entered Yamuna and he started staying there. And this is how Kaliya came to Vrindavan. He didn't go for Vrindavan Yatra there. He came there to hide. Now it so happened, every single day, all the Gopas and Krishna, they will have nice time in the forests of Vrindavan. Some day they'll go to some place, some other day they will go to some other place. And especially when grazing of the cow started, when Krishna became a proper Gopa on the day of Gopashtami, it is described that Mother Yashoda had told Balram, never leave Krishna alone. Wherever Krishna goes, you should go with him. But one day, Balram didn't come with Krishna. Krishna and all the Gopas, they came. They were playing. And while playing, they felt a lot of thirst. And they all went to Yamuna. And they drank the water of Yamuna. And all the Gopas, along with the cows, they all fell down on the ground almost dead. Now Krishna comes there. He sees all these different people lying almost dead. And it is described, Krishna has got so much of love for his devotees. Tears started flowing from his eyes. And these nectarian glands that Krishna was putting on all these Gopas and the cows, all of them came back to life. And when all of them came back to life, they were all astonished, looking at each other. Arey, hum to mar gaye the. How did you come back to life? It's only by the compassionate glance of Krishna. This is the power of Krishna's glance. Many times people say, कि हम मंदिर गए, बहुत अच्छा दर्शन हुआ आज. The question comes, हम भगवान को देखते हैं कि भगवान हमें देखते हैं? What is that entire thing all about? Who sees whom? Lord sees us or we see the Lord? We see the Lord? See, you're very confident. We see the Lord. What can we see max to max? Because of whatever reason, whatever contaminated vision we have, what can we see max to max? Therefore, many times atheistic people say, अरे ये तो बस पत्थर है, ये तो बस लकड़ी है, ये तो बस लोहा है, and things like that. Why? Because we are not able to take darshan of the Lord. In Vrindavan, there was one sadhu. Every day he would visit the temple of Bake Bihari. There's one famous temple. All North Indians go to that temple when they go to Vrindavan. Every day he would visit. But he was blind. But still regularly as a niyam, as you all have this niyam, rule, or a vow that every Sunday evening I'll be here to hear Katha, like that he had a niyam that every day I'll go to Bake Bihari Mandir. Now some mischievous kids who were there around, they started laughing one day. They said, Baba, आप तो कुछ देख ही नहीं सकते, ये क्या हर दिन मंदिर आते हैं आप? Then that Baba said, that saint said. He said, see, I don't have eyes, but Krishna has eyes, no? So every day I come here to the temple to give attendance to the Lord that I have come. I have come. Therefore, whenever we go in front of the Lord to take darshan, Lord glances like this even onto us. Gopas drank the water and that's how they got poison in their body. And for us, lifetime after lifetime, poison is getting filled in our hearts. And you know what? We are almost dead spiritually. Man nahi lagta bhakti mein. When I ask, when we go around to different places, how many rounds are going on? प्रभु जी बस ये क्वेश्चन मत पूछिए, इसके अलावा और जो पूछना है पूछ लीजिए. We'll answer. Because we don't have that taste. Why we don't have taste? Because of the poison that is there in the heart. We are almost spiritually dead. But when Krishna glances, two things will happen. One, he removes the poison. He makes us pure by removing the poison. And second, he nourishes us by his nourishing glance, by which we gain life in spirituality. Therefore, when we come in front of the Lord, more than we taking darshan of the Lord, it's actually Lord who is seeing us. And by his glance, we are actually surviving in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, when we come here Sunday evenings, so the only thing that we have to do is come and give attendance. Oh Lord, I have come. I have come. Even if someone is there at the door to take attendance or no, doesn't matter. You come in front of the Lord and say, oh Lord, I have come. Likh lo, my attendance. By the way, all this attendance will count at the time of death. Exam mein hota hai na 75% attendance minimum. It will be counted. So in this way we see that Krishna glanced and all these gopas and cows, they came back to life. Now here about Kaliya. So Kaliya was staying in the lake. Inside Jamuna there was a lake. He was staying there. And now his poison was so great. Entire place had become poisonous. In fact, it is described poison level was so great that the entire lake would boil. The waters would boil. Like we boil water, like that it will boil. And the various vapors of the poison will come up. Now when the birds were flying above those waters, because of the poisonous vapors, the birds would die and fall down. Now you can imagine the level of poison. They're flying up high in the sky, and just as soon as they cross that place, they would die and fall down. And at times, the poison was so great, the breeze that would flow over that poisonous place would carry the poison also in the air. And now this poisonous air would touch all the vegetation around, all the trees and plants. And it is described, all the trees and plants and animals around were dead because of this. So there was no vegetation around. There were no animals around, all dead. So Krishna was seeing all this. So when Krishna was seeing all this, he decided, kuch to karna chahiye. And you know what Krishna did? It is described, seeing the current situation of the entire place and seeing the havoc that Kaliya was creating, Krishna immediately climbed a tree near the place. And on the tree, the belt that was there around, the cloth that he had tied, made it more tight. And then he slammed his hands. And then with full confidence, in a playful mood, he jumped inside the river. So our acharyas, देखिए हम लोग तो ये सब गौर से सुनते नहीं है ना ही गौर से पढ़ते हैं. Our acharyas, they have this question, ये tree बचा कैसे? How did this tree remain? Then through various Puranas, our acharyas quote, Garuda once, when he was carrying the pot of nectar from the heavenly planet, some drops fell on this tree. And that's how it became Amar. It remained. And there's another thing that the acharyas say, this tree was given the understanding that Krishna would come and he would climb on you, so remain alive. Now in that entire poisonous situation, just to attain Krishna's lotus feet, this tree withstood all the poisonous effect. Krishna would come one day. So wonderful, isn't it? Even in our life, when we go through all these different poisonous effects around, we have to sustain with one goal. I want to attain Krishna's lotus feet. Goal yahi to hai. What else is the goal? Goal is to attain Krishna's lotus feet. There is no other goal apart from this. Therefore, when we're going through some tough phase of life, we just tolerate all that. And the only thing that we do is, we always look at the goal, and that is Krishna. And this tree was waiting. Oh, Krishna would come. And Krishna climbed that tree. And he jumped from that tree. Now, it's very nice. When he jumped, he koi normal bachcha to nahi tha. Now, Govardhan Leela happened after a long time. So, Govardhan Leela happened when Krishna was 7 years young. And this happened much, much before. So, you can imagine 5 years or something like that, the age would be. When he jumped, it is described, the water came out of that particular place and it occupied almost the place of 400 feet around the place. 400 feet. 100 dhanu. That is what is the unit that is given. And there Shukdev Goswami is saying, isme kuch badi baat nahi. What is so great about this? Krishna has got infinite power. When he jumps, what is so great about this? So much of water coming out. Because of his mercy only, the entire world is sustaining. It's only by his mercy that all the oceans are sustaining. It's only by his mercy all the planets are floating. Hey, what is so great about little water coming out? So don't be so astonished. Now here when the water came out, Krishna jumped. So Krishna jumped in clean water or poisonous water? कुछ भी नहीं हुआ कृष्णा को. ऐसे कैसे? So he's God. He's God. How can anything happen to him? He's Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he jumped in the waters, ऐसा नहीं कि अरे poison, बचा लो मुझे कोई बचा लो. Krishna was swimming and playing on the waters of Jamuna, poisonous waters of Jamuna. Now what happened is when Krishna jumped and he was playing around, the water was making various sounds because he's swimming across, no? So water is making various sounds. There's a lot of sound in the water. And this sound was heard by Kaliya. And all the other serpents who were there with him, because he didn't come alone, all his family members also came. He had many wives, many other relatives, they all came. So when Krishna jumped, they all became very fearful and they all started spitting more poison. So now the water was more poisonous than before. And in that poisonous water, our Supreme Lord, the most fearless one, he was swimming and he was enjoying the entire place. He was having water sports. आई बताइए जो अपने आप को भगवान बोलते हैं ना, उनको करके दिखाने बोलिए. कोई खेलने की जरूरत नहीं है, विषैले पानी में खेलने की जरूरत नहीं है, उनको बस एक ग्लास विष दे दीजिए बस. प्लीज ड्रिंक. प्लीज ड्रिंक एंड सस्टेन एंड शो. हाउ फुलिश लिविंग एंटिटीज आर. कैसे कोई कह सकता है कि आत्मा परमात्मा हो सकता है? हाउ इज इट पॉसिबल? दिस इज कॉल्ड एज इम्परफेक्ट अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ संबंध ज्ञान. Not understanding who are we, who is God, and what is our relationship with Him. Krishna is playing. Wonderfully He is playing. And it is described, when Krishna was playing and when Kaliya heard the sound, he became angry. Kaun hai ye? Who has trespassed this entire lake? Who is this person? You have seen dogs? Yeah? As soon as they see some person who is coming for the first time or some new dog coming, they'll start barking. Ye mera area hai. How did you come? Wow. How did you come? Exactly like this. I was there in one of the centers and then I was giving class. After the class, one boy came to me, 12th standard boy. And he started asking me a question. Do you believe in real estate? मैं बोला अभी इसमें बिलीव क्या करना है, तो चल रहा है. नो ऑल द लैंड बिलोंग टू गॉड. ये लोग कौन होते हैं उसको डिवाइड करके सेल करने वाले, खरीदने वाले? मतलब वो तो सही है, Like that is Kaliya mentality. Tell me, was the river belonging to Kaliya? He came somewhere from outside and he took the place. And now when Krishna, the proprietor of the entire universe, is coming, he is getting angry. Who is this person coming into my area without my permission? And then he started seeing. He started seeing Krishna. Now he is inside the water. Krishna is playing on the water. Now he started seeing our Supreme Lord, our Krishna, wearing beautiful yellow silken garments, shining in the water. He saw that the entire body was so attractive and shining. He also saw, because now Krishna is swimming, the chest was visible. So he saw on the chest of Krishna there was Kaustuba gem that was shining. He also saw Krishna's beautiful smiling face. It is described that Krishna's entire form is very, very sweet. And in that entire form of Krishna, the face is even more sweeter. And the sweetest thing is Krishna's smile. And this Kaliya got to see. Very big thing, a very, very big thing. And also it is described, he saw Krishna's lotus feet. There are so many yogis who are meditating from so many lifetimes, so many years. And they are not able to get glimpse of Krishna's toenail. And look at Kaliya, a demon. He is getting darshan of Krishna's lotus feet, pinkish, soft lotus feet. Now, when someone gets darshan of the Lord, क्या करेंगे हम लोग? What will we do? नहीं, वो लिस्ट बाहर निकाल के मांगने के अलावा what we will do? Yes. We'll be happy. And also what we will do along with being happy? Very nice. We'll be happy. Our body will become pure. We'll pay obeisance to the Lord. We'll start offering prayers. Isn't it? This is what we see throughout Shastra. That's what devotees have done when they have got darshan of the Lord. And here, when Kaliya got darshan of the Lord, you know what he did? He went close to the Lord. He was very, very envious. And immediately he bit the Lord on the chest. And immediately coiled around the Lord, trying to choke the Lord. देखिए, ये है Kaliya. He is getting darshan of the Lord. Instead of going and offering prayers, dandavats to him, welcoming, आइए हमारे घर पे आइए, आप स्वयं भगवान हैं, you're so beautiful, you're so nice, please come. See, 5-year-old boy, how cute he will be. Think about it. This Kaliya, useless fellow, he is going and biting the Lord, coiling around the Lord to kill him. This is called as enviousness personified. And you know what? Only Kaliya is not envious of the Lord. Even we are envious of the Lord. Therefore, we are there in the material world. Why? If there's one question that is asked, that why are we in the material world? There's only one answer, because we are envious of the Lord. Now someone might say, Prabhuji, क्या बोल रहे हैं? हम हर संडे आते हैं, हम हर दिन जप करते हैं, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र भगवान के बारे में सुनते हैं, प्रसाद ग्रहण करते हैं, आप बोल रहे हैं कि हम भगवान से ईर्ष्या करते हैं? We are envious of the Lord. You want proof? What is envy? What is envy? मैंने लास्ट ईयर इस टाइम पे बताया था. Yes. Envy means a person has something I don't have. I want to snatch it away. And I want to make sure that he also does not have. So now everything in this world belongs to the Lord. और हम देखिए कैसे लोग हैं. We are taking everything that is belonging to the Lord and we are trying to enjoy that. And people say also, एकदम boldly कहते हैं, that everything that is there in this world is for my enjoyment. This is Kaliya mentality. This is Kaliya mentality, being envious. Now say, very nice sweet is there in front of us. Say gulab jamun. Very nice, fluffy. You like kala or brown? I'll describe that. Okay, we say, chalo, we'll talk about the brown gulab jamun. Very fluffy, very nice, sweet, and just removed from the sugar syrup. And then we have been shown like that. Mouth will salivate or not? Why mouth will salivate? I want to eat that. हम ये नहीं पूछेंगे भोग लगाए कि नहीं, ये नहीं पूछेंगे नहीं directly. No, I want it. Anything that is there good, I want to enjoy. This is called as Kaliya mentality, envious of the Lord. Since we want to enjoy here, independent of the Lord, which is the envious mentality, we are stuck in this material world. And you know what Bhakti does? Bhakti removes this envious mentality. It makes our mood favorable towards the Lord. And it makes us surrender to the Lord. Therefore, Bhakti is very, very important. Very, very important. क्या करे, but Kaliya में Bhakti नहीं थी. There's no question of Bhakti. He's getting darshan of the Lord, but then he's not able to understand the importance of it. But instead, this foolish fellow is going and biting the Lord and coiling around the Lord to kill him. Now what happened is, and Krishna was playing and all that, other Gopas were standing out there and they were seeing. There were some Gopas, there were some elderly Gopas, some farmers were there. So they all were seeing that. But now when Kaliya came, he bit Krishna and then he coiled around Krishna, trying to choke him and kill him. At that time, Krishna became motionless. There were no symptoms of life. And all the other people who were there, the Gopas and other elders who were there, and various farmers who were present, few were there. All of them, when they saw that, they were filled with anguish, fear, pain. And because of that, they all fell unconscious. All of them, they fell unconscious. And cows who were standing there, cows and bulls and calves, they were looking at the entire scene. They want to cry, but they're confused, they're fearful, tears are not able to come out. They have become like statue and they're just seeing the scene where Krishna is coiled by Kaliya. This was the entire scene there. This was the entire scene. And now, another very, very important thing to note. This was the scene near the banks. But when Krishna was coiled by the snake, people back in the village, Vrindavan, they were able to see some bad omens. बहुत सारे अपशकुन चीजें देख रहे थे. They're seeing some bad omens in the sky, some meteors falling and something happening. They're seeing bad omens on the earth was trembling, there were some earthquakes. They were having bad omens on the body also. Quivering of the left eye and the left hand and whatever. And you know, as soon as they saw all that bad omen, immediately the first thing that they came to their mind, everyone, not just Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, everyone in the entire Vrindavan, the only thing that was there in their mind was, what happened to Krishna? What happened to Krishna? Where is Krishna? Hey, Balram is here only. Today Krishna has not gone with Balram. What happened to Krishna? All of them, they were just thinking about Krishna. This is a scene which touches my heart a lot. अरे उनके भी तो बच्चे गए थे ना? All the others who were there, उनके भी बच्चे गए थे कृष्णा के साथ. Why these people are not thinking about their kids and are thinking about Krishna? They could have thought, अरे मेरे बच्चे को क्या हो गया? शायद कुछ हो गया रहेगा मेरे बच्चे को. Maybe my kid is dead. But everyone in Vrindavan, they were just thinking about only Krishna. And they were all thinking, maybe Krishna has gone. And just seeing that and just with that thought, they were going mad. This is called as mood of Rajvasis. For them, everyone else is secondary. Priority is Krishna. They also had husband, wife, kids, whatever. But for them, Krishna was at the top. Baki sab baad mein. Baki sab baad mein. In fact, when the mothers would pack lunchbox and give, they would tell, this is the best thing and this is little best. The best thing, you have to give it to Krishna and the rest you have to eat. बताइए कौन सी मम्मी ऐसा डब्बा भर के देती है? Look at the priority of these personalities. For them, Krishna is everything. Now we have to ask ourselves, for us, who is everything? Don't worry, I'll not ask you all individually. What is our priority? Someone might say that my spouse is my priority. Someone might say that no, my kids, they are my priority. Someone might say my job is my priority, money, etc., etc. But Brajvasis, if you ask them, who is at the top of your priority list? They will say only one word, and that is Krishna. That's it, Krishna. And you know what? The day when our mood also becomes like this, when Krishna becomes a top priority in our life, we become eligible to enter the eternal abode of the Lord, that is Goloka Vrindavan. क्योंकि अगर गोलोक वृंदावन में जाना है तो ब्रजवासी तो बनना होगा ना, उनका मोड तो चाहिए. ऐसे थोड़ी ये बैंगलोर वाला मोड लेके घुसेंगे अंदर, वहां वो उधर दरवाजे से भगा देंगे हम लोग को, जाओ भागो यहां से. To enter Goloka Vrindavan, we need the mood of a Brajvasi. And what is the mood of Brajvasi? Krishna is at the topmost priority. Topmost priority. Therefore, we always keep telling, when we're doing bhakti, all the activities of bhakti that we do should be on the top priority. And when bhakti is happening properly, everything else will fall in place. And this is a practice that we are supposed to do to keep Krishna the top priority. क्या करें? Lifetime after lifetime, priority तो कुछ और ही रहा है हमेशा से. अभी अचानक से कृष्णा को टॉप प्रायोरिटी डालना मुश्किल हो जाता है ना. So we need to practice by doing devotional service. And all these people, they started thinking, what happened? What happened to my Lord? What happened? And all of them, they started searching for Krishna. Now they started seeing Krishna's footprints. कहाँ गया ये? How will they understand which is Krishna's footprint? Because so many kids went. It is described, lakhs of gopas, they would go with Krishna to graze the cows. Lakhs of cows would be there. Abhi lakhs of cows are walking, lakhs of gopas are walking, Krishna is also walking. Unka footprint कैसे दिखेगा? Lotus, Mata is saying lotus footprint. So, lotus footprint मतलब कैसे समझेगा कि कृष्णा का footprint है? Is there any speciality on Krishna's lotus foot? Okay. So there are 19 symbols on the lotus feet of the Lord. Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. And then we have the moon, we have fish, we have triangle, we have various water pots, and so many other things. So now, when Krishna would walk, those footprints would be there. But मेरा question ये है कि ये footprint मिटता नहीं है क्या? How it was there on the ground? You know what? No cow would step on Krishna's footprint. No gopa would step on Krishna's footprint. And Mother Earth, for her, this is ornament, Baba. This is ornament. Krishna's footprints are the ornament. And she would retain all the footprints intact. Now, when these Brajvasis, they came searching, Nanda Maharaj and others, Yashoda Maya was also there, so many other elderly gopas and gopis. They're all looking at the footprints and they started walking. Some places it was grass, so there was no footprint. Then again they saw, okay, footprint. Finally they came on the banks of Jamuna. And what did they see? They saw three things. Tell me what were these three things? First, मैंने बता दिया तीनों. So Kaliya had coiled Krishna. Yes, he was around Krishna. Second, yes, all the gopas, they were down, unconscious. Third, yes, the cows, the bulls, the calves, they were all in statue position. And this was seen by all the Brajavasis who came from Vrindavan. And when they saw this, they were confused. They were filled with fear. Now the young gopis who were there, when they saw this, Krishna was motionless. Looking at this, for them, it was like, oh, the entire universe has become void. Because if Krishna is not there, then what is the use of this life? What is the use of this universe? For them, the entire universe became void at one go. कुछ भी नहीं था उनके लिए अभी पूरे दुनिया में. Because for them, if Krishna is there, everything is there. For them, if Krishna is not there, nothing is there. We say this, no? Prabhupada says this in various lectures, even in various conversations. All the possessions that we have in our life, the degrees that we own, The car that we have, the house that we have, all the talents that we have, all of them, they're like zeros. If we don't have Krishna, tell me, even if you have 10 zeros, will that have any value? But as soon as Krishna enters our life, he acts as that one. अभी सोचिए 10 जीरो और उसके आगे एक 1 लगा दिया. Aha. Now the value of these zeros will also suddenly increase. Therefore, if Krishna is removed, what remains is only zero in our life. And this, they knew it very well. And these gopis, they were feeling gone. The entire universe is void. Now, these were the young gopis. Now talk about the elderly gopis and Mother Yashoda. Sochiye Mother Yashoda ka situation. When Mother Yashoda saw this, she wanted to just enter the waters. She was in a different state altogether. And all the other elderly gopis, they were holding Mother Yashoda. They were also crying. And in turns, the gopis were speaking Krishna Leela. They were telling what Krishna did in the childhood. In this particular place, he did this pastime, that pastime. And they were telling Mother Yashoda, don't worry, kuch nahi hoga. And they were crying. Now what were the gopas doing? All the gopas, they were trying to enter the waters now. Hum bachayenge Krishna ko, hum bachayenge. In fact, going back again to Vrindavan, where all of these people were there seeing the bad omen, and when all of them they were saying, oh, something has happened to Krishna, something has happened to Krishna, there was one person smiling. Who was that? There was one person smiling, looking at all of them. Balram. Balram was smiling. Arey, pagal log. Because he knew very well Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. He knew very well nothing will happen to my brother. So he was smiling. But he didn't go and tell anything. Pitai ho jayegi agar kuch bolenge to. Suppose he goes and says that nothing has happened. Why are you worrying so much? They might say, you useless fellow, just shut your mouth. Krishna is not seen. Bad omen is there and you're speaking like this. So he didn't say anything. And now when all the gopas were trying to enter the waters, Balram was the one who stopped them. Be there. And Balram ekdam tension free mein the. ये अभी ड्रामा कर रहा है. There is no symptoms of life in his body, and the snake has coiled him, but nothing will happen to him. एक नंबर का ड्रामेबाज. Nothing will happen. So in this way, all the Brajvasis, for them it was almost like life coming out of the body. That was their situation. Because for them, Krishna was everything. Krishna was everything. कभी आएगा हमारे जीवन में ऐसा दिन? When will that day come when we will also think that Krishna is everything for me? That day should come, Baba, fast. At least मरने से पहले तो आना ही चाहिए. If we don't have this mood that Krishna is everything for me, and we're dying, what will be our destination? Our destination will be something really very bad, for sure. Therefore, this practice of bhakti is so important. This practice of bhakti attracts the mercy of Krishna, and Krishna enters as a very, very minute entity in our heart. And then he starts expanding and expanding and expanding. And finally expand to such a great extent, nothing else will remain in the heart. Only one person will remain, and that is Krishna. That is the success of our life. So when all of this was happening, so Krishna, being Paramatma in everyone's heart, he could understand, अरे फालतू के टेंशन दे रहा हूं मैं इनको. All of them are tense because of me. They're feeling so fearful. They're lamenting so much. No, अब बस ये emotionless drama जो अभी किया हूं मैं, I think I should end that. You know what Krishna started doing? So you can imagine Krishna and Kaliya is coiled around him tightly. Krishna started expanding himself. Now this expansion that was happening, no one else could see. But only one person could feel. And that person was Kaliya. Kaliya could feel because उसने पकड़ के रखा था ना एकदम. And Krishna is expanding and Kaliya is feeling the pressure. And Kaliya released Krishna. And when he released Krishna, you know what? Kaliya had 1,000 hoods. 1,000 hoods. In that, 101 hoods were very big. And they were the superior ones, I could say. And now this Kaliya, he started looking at Krishna. He raised all his hoods up and he started looking at Krishna. And Bhagavatam says that he started looking Krishna with anger. He started breathing heavily. His nostrils were like huge vessels of poison. His eyes were spitting fire. इतना गुस्सा आया था उसको. His eyes were spitting fire, looking at Krishna. And also it is described. और शुकदेव गोस्वामी कितने डिटेल में जाते हैं. Every time I feel that he has a camera and एकदम zoom करके पूरा, he has gone close to Kaliya and he's seeing that his eyes have become red. How many eyes Kaliya had? Huh? 2,000. 1,000 hoods. Each hood will have 2 eyes. 2,000 eyes were red, spitting fire. And now Shukadeva Goswami is looking at the mouth of Kaliya and he's describing to Parikshit Maharaj and he's saying the tongue that Kaliya had, which is bifurcated. Hota hai na waise? The tongue of the snakes, it's one and then it becomes 2 at the end. And Shukadeva Goswami is observing that and saying Kaliya was licking the various parts of the mouth, his lips. I don't know how that is. The Kaliya, every hood had one tongue. So 1,000 tongues were out like that. सोचिए इस scene कितना ghastly होगा. Any kid will become fearful, no? Forget about kid, even an adult. Forget about 1,000 hoods. One hood snake आपके सामने अगर जीभ बाहर निकाल रहा है. Think about that situation. We'll just run away from that place. And look at our Krishna. All this ghastly scene is there in front of Krishna. And Krishna is playing around Kaliya. सोचिए अगर कोई आपको गुस्से से देख रहा है और आप एकदम खुश है and you're playing, उसका गुस्सा और बढ़ेगा नहीं. So now Krishna is playing and now Kaliya, he was fearful to go around and coil around Krishna again. Because of power देख लिया. Now he directly wanted to bite Krishna. Now just think about this entire scene. So Kaliya is trying to follow Krishna to bite him and Krishna is going. And like that round and round and round, Kaliya is going around him. And finally, the strength of Kaliya was depleting. He was getting tired. And he was now really angry. Really angry. And when he was getting tired, so at that time, our Krishna, what he did? He stepped onto the shoulder of Kaliya and he jumped on the hood of Kaliya. He stood on the hoods of Kaliya. Abhi khada rehna, see, when the tile is straight, when it is flat, you can stand. Now when you put oil on the tiles, when you stand, little bit you move, there's always fear of slipping. And now, when we bend the tile like this, and the oil is there on that, and then if you're asked to stand, is it possible? But here our Supreme Lord, he's standing on the hoods of Kaliya, which is very slippery, and he's all balancing himself. Not just standing. Now Krishna did something which no ordinary human being can do. Krishna purposely would do all this so that we Baddha Jivas can understand that we can never become Krishna. And you know what Krishna did? He started dancing on the hoods of Kaliya. When this dance began, at that time, various Gandharvas, they came. Various Apsaras came. Various Siddhas came from the heavenly planets. And they were all hovering over the top. And they were all witnessing this beautiful dance of Krishna. And they were assisting Krishna in this dance. How, you know? They were playing various musical instruments. The Gandharvas were singing various songs. And various other personalities were showering flowers. And the entire festival began. Wherever there is Krishna, there is festival. And now here Krishna started dancing. For common public, to dance on flat floor is difficult. What to talk about curved floor? And here Krishna is dancing on such a floor. And just imagine, it is not something that is stable. ऐसे curved है, तो फिर भी हम सोच सकते हैं, may be possible. But this curved floor is moving, Baba. It's moving and Krishna is dancing on that. Therefore, when someone says that I am God, ask him to dance on the hoods of a snake. Maybe he will dance when the snake is around. Forget about dancing on the hoods of the snake. So now Krishna's dance was something that was very amazing. Krishna was dancing on these various hoods. when one of the hood would come up, you know what Krishna would do? From this hood, he will jump on this hood and he'll start dancing here. And when he was dancing, it is described, there were jewels, no, on various hoods. When Krishna was dancing, his feet are very soft. Very, very soft. And therefore, all the gopis, they would always be worried when Krishna would go for grazing the cows in the morning. They would always be worried. And they would be telling each other, Shila Tranan Kure, Sidati Tinaha, Kalilata Manaha, Kanta Gachati. So gopis are saying, oh Krishna, you have entered the forest, and in the forest, there are stones which are sharp. And these cows, they don't have any understanding. So they'll eat half grass, and the rest half that remains becomes sharp. Because half is eaten. The rest half will become sharp. Oh Krishna, your feet is so soft. When you are stepping on the stones, when you are stepping on this sharp grass, your feet will be getting hurt. Oh, remembering this, our hearts are breaking, oh Lord, our hearts are breaking. Same lotus feet. Lakshmi Devi is fearful to massage the lotus feet of Krishna or Vishnu. As soon as she touches, the feet becomes reddish. Very, very reddish. And now just imagine, Krishna is jumping. Krishna is jumping from one hood to another. And this jewel is there. So Krishna's lotus feet has become very, very red. And this everyone is able to see. As soon as one hood comes up, Krishna jumps on this. और वो ऐसे डांस करते थे that hood which is not ready to pay obeisance to Krishna has to come down and pay obeisance. And like this, Krishna was dancing and dancing and dancing. On that hood on which Krishna was dancing, that hood would spit fire, spit blood, spit poison, and that hood would completely get shattered. So now when he was jumping, you can just imagine the entire situation. He's spitting blood, he's getting tired, his hoods are broken now. And even then, envy, no, pride, other hoods would come out. And again Krishna would jump. And then he would dance and dance and dance. His dance was so heavy that hood would break and again go down. What does Kaliya represent? Envy and pride. So whenever we become proud, there is a dancer who would dance on us. He'll dance in such a way, such a very wonderful way, that we have to become humble. And this is the mercy of Krishna unto all of us. Because anyone who is proud cannot attain Krishna's lotus feet. Not possible. Anyone who is proud cannot attain Krishna's lotus feet. You know, who attains Krishna's lotus feet? Only a humble and a meek devotee. Forget about our scriptures. The Bible says this. Only a meek and humble can own the kingdom of God. Can inherit the kingdom of God. So, what to talk about our scriptures? In fact, when Krishna is describing various qualities, the first quality that he says is amanitvam, humility. Humility is very, very important. And whenever a devotee becomes proud because of whatever reason, oh, I'm chanting these many rounds, I'm doing these many services, I'm doing this and that or whatever, Krishna says, Acha bacha, your roots are going up today, I'll teach you a lesson. And Krishna very mercifully dances on that devotee. And the pride is shattered completely. All those people who have not experienced this, don't worry, you'll experience. Krishna's mercy is nice. We all get this experience. Whenever we become proud, Krishna humiliates us very nicely and makes us humble and makes us realize, Arey, you are nothing, you're zero. You're trying to act as a hero, but you're actually zero. It's only by my mercy you're able to do whatever you're able to do. In this way, we understand Krishna very mercifully teaches lesson to the devotees. And he makes them humble, he makes them eligible, and he drags them back home, back to Godhead. That is our Krishna. The only thing that we have to do is be in touch with Krishna. Rest Krishna will take care. The thing that Kaliya did, he was in touch with Krishna. Krishna was jumping, and finally, all the hoods were shattered. All the hoods were shattered. He was about to die. At that time, there were many wives of Kaliya. They came. And it's described that these wives of Kaliya, they're actually devotees of Krishna. Now how all these wives of Kaliya, they came? And now they didn't come aise ekdam Krishna ke paas. They kept their small kids in front. And they started walking. towards the Lord. And the mood was, maybe Lord's heart might not melt looking at us, but maybe his heart will melt looking at these small kids who are there. And they started offering wonderful prayers. Amazing set of prayers. Uske liye 2 घंटा चाहिए explain करने के लिए. Amazing prayers. You know what they said? Oh Lord, what did our husband do? That which even Lakshmi couldn't get, that which Brahma couldn't get, my husband has got. What did the husband get? What did Kaliya get? Krishna's lotus feet on the head. Have you seen ever Vishnu placing his lotus feet on Lakshmi? She is hankering for that. She is always at the lotus feet of Vishnu. She is massaging the feet of Vishnu. She is doing tapasya. But she never got this opportunity to get the lotus feet on the head. And Kaliya has got. And they are thinking, इसने क्या किया था? अरे ये तो राक्षस है, ये तो demon है. What did he do? Oh Lord, we cannot understand your mercy. Oh Lord, we cannot understand your mercy. Oh Lord, you are having all the saintly qualities and you can forgive anyone and everyone. एकदम पूरा ऐसा fielding लगा के अभी मांग रहे जो मांगना है. Oh Lord, you are saintly, you can forgive anyone and everyone. Oh Lord, this Kaliya, he is a demon, but see, his heart is transformed. Please forgive him, O Lord, please forgive him. He will die. What will happen to us? What will happen to these kids? Oh Lord, please forgive him. Please forgive him. And now hearing the wonderful prayers of Kaliya Patnis, Krishna, he released Kaliya. And when Krishna released Kaliya, Kaliya started offering prayers. Kaliya ke prayers ekdam mast hai. And now when I was reading, I was feeling it to be comedy. Kaliya is saying, oh Lord, you have created us. And you have created us in the mode of ignorance. And we serpents, we are naturally by birth we are envious. So what will we do? We'll do this only, what you're seeing. So when he's offering prayer, it's almost like aapki galti hai. Aapki galti hai. And then he also says a very nice thing. He says, oh Lord, we are always under the illusory potency of yours. And we cannot overcome your illusory potency by my own self. We cannot. It is described in Shastra very clearly. Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is saying, Daivi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mam Evaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. Krishna is saying, Mama Maya Duratyaya. Very difficult to overcome. You living entities cannot overcome my Maya, Krishna is saying. So if suppose we have this question, so Krishna, how will I overcome your Maya? I'm stuck. At that time Krishna is saying, Mam evaye prapadyante. Surrender unto me. Maya metam tarantite. Main tumhe tar dunga. I will cross you across the entire Maya, the illusory potency of mind. Only Krishna can do. And this Kaliya knew. Kaliya is saying, how can I come out of illusion, O Lord? Only by your mercy I can come out. Oh Lord, now you decide what you want to do. You want to shower your mercy or you want to punish, you decide. And Krishna said to Kaliya, immediately leave the place. You have been troubling all the Vrindavan Vasis, immediately leave the place. And say Kaliya had this one doubt, na? Why did Kaliya was there in the waters of Yamuna? Aaye kyun tha wo? Garuda was trying to kill him. So now if say Kaliya is asking Krishna, if I go out, Garuda will kill me. Garuda will kill me, what will I do? At that time Krishna said something. Garuda will not kill you. Now you have to tell me why Garuda will not kill him. Krishna's footprint was there. Krishna's footprint was there on the head of Kaliya. And as soon as Garuda will see the footprint of Krishna, he will not do anything to Kaliya. And therefore Lord said, don't worry. Nothing will happen. Since you have lotus footprint on your head, nothing will happen to you. Garuda will not do anything to you. What is this tilak? Krishna's footprint. So anyone who has tilak on the forehead, nothing can happen to that person. No bad elements in this world can affect that person. No bad element can affect. Therefore, every single person should stamp Krishna's lotus feet on the forehead. One of my distant grandmothers, she was saying, ये क्या इतना बड़ा लगा रखा है? तो छोटा सा लगाओ. मैं बोला इस स्टाइल के लिए थोड़ी लगाया हमने. This has science behind. And what is the science? The science is when we stamp Krishna's lotus footprint on our forehead, we belong to Krishna. That's what Krishna told Kaliya. As soon as Garuda sees you, he will know that you belong to me. Similarly, when we put tilak on our forehead, Yamudutas know very well whom we belong to. Yamudutas know very well, अरे बाबा ये तो विष्णु के लोग हैं, ये तो कृष्णा के लोग हैं, इनको टच नहीं करना है. And it is described, Yamaraj has told all the Yamadutas, ये जो है ना devotee species, इनसे दूर रहो. Be away from these people who are putting tilak, chanting the holy names. Because you are not qualified to go near these people. Because these people directly are the possession of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. अभी ये सब सुनने के बाद कौन तिलक नहीं लगाएगा, कौन चैंटिंग नहीं करेगा, बताइए. See, chanting can be a doubt, no? So सोचिए अब ये मर रहे हैं हम लोग. What is the guarantee that Mahamantra will come in our mouth? What is the guarantee? Kulashekar Alvar very beautifully is saying, Krishna Tvadiya Pada Pankaja Panjarantam Advaiva Me Vishatu Manasa Rajahamsaha Prana Prayana Samaye Kafapata Vittai Kantavarodana Vidau Smaranam Kutaste. Kulashekar Alvar is saying, in fact, the entire essence of this is, oh Lord, now I'm able to remember you, now I'm able to chant your holy names, please take me now itself. Because at the time of death, Kapha, Pitta, Vayu are going to block my throat. How will I be able to chant your holy names? I'll not be able to chant your holy names. Abhi le lo mujhe. Because now I'm in good condition, I'm speaking Krishna Katha, sitting amongst all the devotees, best time, O Lord, take me now itself. कितना मस्त रहेगा ना. Just imagine we're hearing Krishna Katha, बस देह त्याग दिया उधर ही. Back home, back to Godhead. Chanting the holy names. 16 round. 16th round was last beat. Hare Krishna bola. Tun. But only fortunate people get this opportunity. So now my point here is that it's not that all the time we are chanting Hare Krishna, but all the time tilak can be there on the forehead, no? All the time it can be there. So now even when we are leaving the body and say tilak is there on the forehead, Yamadutas cannot touch the personality who is leaving the body, because the body has got the footprint of Krishna with Tulasi. With Tulasi. Therefore, Krishna told him, koi tension nahi, go. Koi tension nahi, go. In this way, Kaliya left the place with all his relatives. Before leaving, Kaliya did one very, very wonderful thing. He worshipped Krishna very nicely. He gave wonderful garments to Krishna. He put a lot of ornaments to Krishna and circumambulated Krishna, paid obeisance to Krishna. He took leave of Krishna and finally left the place. He left Vrindavan and went back to Ramana Dvipa in Fiji. He went back to that place. In this way, Kaliya, who was troubling all the Vrindavan Vasis, he was removed from Vrindavan. Therefore, we have to always remember one thing, that if we trouble any devotee, Krishna will say, chalo niklo abhi yahan se. Niklo. Krishna removes that culprit who is troubling the devotees. He'll remove and put him out of devotee association. Therefore, we always say, be always careful of offending a devotee. Never offend a devotee. Krishna does not like this. We always serve the devotees, we don't offend. If Kaliya would have served all the Brajvasis, wo to Vrindavan mein reh jata na. He could have lived in Vrindavan forever. But this was the problem. And as soon as Kaliya left, the waters of Jamuna became very, very pure, extremely pure, as it was before, by the mercy of Lord Shri Krishna. So in this way we see how much Krishna is possessive for his devotees and how much devotees are possessive for Krishna. And in this way, the pastimes of Krishna go on and on and on, setting various high levels of example of devotional service done by his devotees to him. And he's teaching all of us, this is how bhakti has to be done. See, look at my devotees, how much they like me. Look at my devotees, how much they love me. Don't you feel that even you should do that? Krishna is doing all these pastimes just to advertise to all of us. Arey, kya kar rahe ho aap log? You're busy doing sense gratification. Come Baba, come to me and love me. Because I am the object of love for you. No one else can be the object of love for you. In this way, Krishna appeared on this Bhauma Vrindavan only for one reason. to perform all his pastimes and attract all our hearts back home, back to Godhead. Because if Krishna does not perform pastimes, what will we speak and hear? What will we speak and hear? Only for us, Krishna has performed pastimes, and therefore it's our duty that we come together and hear Krishna Katha, prepare our consciousness, and purify ourselves, and finally attain the goal of life, that is Krishna's eternal service. Thank you very much. Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Janmashtami Mahotsav ki